final. And I think it's a perfect time now to bring in our guest, Phallon Tullis-Joyce, Manchester United and US Women's National Team keeper. Phallon, thank you so much for joining us on Futbol W. We were just talking about the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 against Portugal, but take us through what you saw from the team and how you guys were able to turn it around and get that win in the second one.
First of all, thank you for having me. Absolutely amazing to hear and see you all. And then, yeah, I was listening to everything that you said about the difference between the first game and the second game. And Sam Coffey said it best after that first game, that just simply wasn't good enough. You know, the players that we have, the quality that we have, we needed to step it up. And testament to the squad that came out in the second game, because they definitely put the pedal to the metal and just absolutely showed Portugal what we're about and took no mercy. So I think that was a testament to the game plan that we had, the adaptations that we made, and honestly just a whole lot of just great performances by the players and my teammates. They actually had like a standout performance.
And Phallon, you've worked so hard to get this opportunity to be in the national team, and you've done so well. You've had 2 clean sheets, and just now gaining that experience, in every friendly that you're able to play in. What does that mean to you, working this hard at club and then getting the call up and actually performing as well as you are, and now, being in the squad each and every friendly in recent games?
It's honestly, it was just such an honor. I mean, even just speaking to you right now, Ali Krieger, you were an absolute role model for me, especially in my career, just your work ethic. And I think you were a testament to just that standard of the team. And that's what we saw in that first game, is just we didn't uphold that standard. And that was a big knock to the chin and quite frankly to the heart as well. We take that on ourselves, especially with the 2 set piece goals. But now that was a friendly and we're taking on and learn so much from it. You just want to be a sponge and absolutely take as much as we can and honor that crest that we now have the opportunity to represent.
Yeah, Phallon, I'll take over here because obviously you're able to see the defensive side of things with what we saw, especially. What are you noticing the most defensively? What combinations are you liking the most when you're trying to settle into the national team level?
I think we have a very high quality squad. So as far as combinations go, and you put anybody on the field and we have like an amazing lineup. Now it's just about building that chemistry and making sure that we're talking on the field. So any dead ball that we get, look around, see what's working, what's not working, and making sure that we can actually communicate these things to ourselves and adapt in the moment as a squad and make sure that we're getting the principles right and getting the game plan right.
Phallon, while we're talking about the team here, I'd love to go inside these meetings Emma Hayes has talked about as much as you can anyway. It sounds like, she has the individual meetings with players, but she's talked in the past 3-4 days here since that first game about these subgroup meetings of looking at things from different perspectives. I thought it was interesting. She said she doesn't, and other coaches have done this, she doesn't look at it as lines. It's not a midfielders meeting. It is, let's look at this from different perspectives and break things down. So just talk us through what that looks like as a player of getting that film, coming into the meeting the next morning, and what does that look like? What are the dynamics of those conversations between players as you try to break down maybe what went wrong and what needs to improve?
Well, right away, everything's on an iPad. So right as soon as that game ends, you were given an iPad and you were expected to watch that iPad because they're going to ask you a ton of questions the next day just to try and get that feedback, get our brains going, understand what went wrong, what went right. And then we also have unit meetings as well. And we'll just mix up who's in those unit meetings. Doesn't matter if you're goalkeeper, defensive line, middle line, forward line, we're all mixed together and just getting that feedback and understanding each other as people as well as on the field. So there's a lot of meetings with our coaches, but then also together within the team, no matter your position.
And Phallon, I wanted to ask you, playing club for Manchester United, such a huge club with just a massive following. How does that make you feel to show up, shifting gears a little bit to the club level and making that decision to go to England and play for Man United? How is that, playing for that team, that culture, that integration, and learning maybe a few British slang or habits now that you're there full time?
Definitely. I'll catch myself saying that's a good shout all the time. And I'm like, oof, let me just settle down. It's just a lot of things that just crept up in my vocabulary, but I'm absolutely loving representing United. I think we have a great squad, incredible people that I enjoy spending time with on and off the field. And just incredible players. Oh my goodness, do we have some incredible teammates there at United. And I think we've all just bonded together and just want to get the job done. We really enjoy shaking up the WSL right now. So I've just been having a great time, especially making Champions League. Like when it came down to the wire between us and Man City, I never celebrated a tie more in my life, but getting that Champions League spot and then having to grind it out, I never understood how intense Champions League was until we're in qualifiers and it was do or die every game. And so like it's just that thrill, that excitement of how soccer should be. And I really love getting this side of it now and experiencing it.
Let's talk about that experience, Phallon, because you say I had no idea how intense the Champions League was, and you looked, I mean, it was a standout performance that you had against Atletico de Madrid. Obviously, you have very talented teammates, but collectively, what you faced and what your teammates faced in that game were literally a little bit of everything happened. You guys were down a player for so many minutes of this one, but what did it mean to you and your team to have this level of Champions League performance and to know that you can have that standout game at the Champions League level?
It's so special. And like we played Valerenga, we played Atletico, and these teams were incredible. From the first whistle when we played Atletico, I was like, oh, this is how it's going to be. They stepped up and we had to step up even harder. And we had some players taking blocks to the chest, people sliding for tackles. Some got the red, but we gave it everything in that game, and I'm really proud to play with this team and this squad, and I'm excited to see how much further we can go in the Champions League.
Well, Phallon, I want to ask you about this goalkeeper union too, because it's a really interesting time for the U.S. I mean, you're well aware of the history of great goalkeepers. I'm sure you've heard about it plenty, and now you come in, 3 of you in this camp. It's been somewhat consistent, at least in terms of that group, and you're fighting for that number 1 spot. So how are you managing, really as a collective, the idea of competition with supporting each other, and it's all relatively very new for all of you?
Yes, I definitely think we have a very unique and interesting goalkeeper squad right now. And I think all 3 of us bring such different attributes that are so special to the game and make it all that more competitive. We know what it means to be the goalkeeper. A lot of us I shared my first camp with Alyssa Nair, and I was just staring at her the whole time. Like I just wanted to absorb as much as I could, just being even in her presence, and try to learn as much as I could about what it takes to wear this crest. And I think that's what Mandy and Claudia also share as well, is we're really just pushing each other in all of our different X factors. So I think that'll just keep continuing to take us all to the next level.
And Phallon, how has the locker room and the U.S. Women's National Team embraced you as a new goalkeeper, especially just leading from the back, right? You have to have that big voice, that leadership mentality, which I could see that you have, that respect from the players, both at club and now country. So how have they embraced you, and how has that culture been for you personally?
I think you're catching me at a great moment, because we actually just had a team meeting where we had to share what we appreciate about our teammates, and we're in a group of 3, and they've just been incredible in accepting me as a person on the field and off the field. And I like to pride myself on my ability to command the box. So coming out, making sure that I'm heard and known, especially like in our build, and, communicating when there's a shot to be stopped or a cross to be stopped. And then on the field, I love that they like to ask about fishy finds and, my last scuba dive. And so it's just like it's a squad that you could just get this, that, and another thing from. And everyone's just an incredible person.
Phallon, I want to ask you maybe a little bit off the field here, but it ties in to, I think, you as a player. I mean, I think very analytical. I was reading our ESPN.com article last week about you going to the Amazon rainforest and, exploring something. I mean, just using your time off in a way that maybe nobody else was. I want to hear a little bit more about that, what you can share about that experience, and also just how you're trying to, I mean, can you apply those things in any way to the field when you take trips like that, or you're studying whatever you're studying?
Yeah, I think so. I actually met an incredible scientist. Her name is Dr. Rosa Vasquez Espinosa, and she's studying stingless bees in the Peruvian Amazon. So we were high up. You would think the Amazon next to the river, but we were actually high up in the Andes Mountains. There were giant armadillos there, jaguars, pumas, and as far as what I could apply to soccer, I just loved it. I was enjoying every single butterfly that flew past me. I've never seen so many bugs in my life. But it was just an incredible moment. I think for things that I do in my life that actually does apply to soccer is free diving and understanding my physiological responses to stress. So, and understanding my breath work. But when I'm out in the field, I'm just taking notes, trying to learn as much as I can, and then pass it on to maybe the eco-reds that I work with through the Manchester United Foundation. So everything that I learn, all the videos that I then take it to our local schools in the UK and show them what's a possibility as a scientist and also as a professional athlete now.
Oh, I love that. Phallon, I'm very intrigued to ask you if you had to channel any of those animals that you saw in the Amazon, which one would it be?
Oh my gosh. I'll go for Andean bear because they are just like, fun fact, Paddington is actually an Andean bear, but
Oh,
they
I
are
didn't know
so, yeah, so difficult to find and see. And they're just like, but obviously it's a bear, so ways will jack you up, you know? So yeah, I would love to be a bear with all the power, but at the same time, a little bit mysterious, a little bit spiritual. So I think I would choose the Andean bear.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know Paddington Bear was what kind of bear is he, Phallon?
Andean bear, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take a note of that. But I'm sure plenty of notes are being passed around right now with this game that you guys have tomorrow. What are you expecting from New Zealand?
Expecting from New Zealand, we've seen that they also have a high press. They are definitely very, very intense, but I think we have prepared for that very well against Portugal. And now we've had these 10 days, well, coming up on 10 days together to sort things out. And I think I'm really excited for the squad and see how we perform. I'm very confident for how we'll do.
And Phallon, kind of looking beyond, the game tomorrow and the rest of your season, but for you personally, what are you looking forward to most at the club level and then with the national team in the next few months?
At the club level, we will be hosting PSG at Old Trafford, and that atmosphere is going to be absolutely bumping. I know British people love a little bit of drama, so I would love to see Mary again. I think that'll be a bit of fun. And then on the national team level, I'm just, really presenting our best selves against New Zealand, taking to heart what happened in that first game against Portugal. We already have done our duty in the second game, but now taking it even further to New Zealand to put that stamp of, okay, we had that little slip up, but now we don't accept that anymore.
Phallon, you talked about the club level, obviously the national team level, and we're sort of wrapping up this great conversation with you, by the way. I saw this news earlier. What does it mean to you to have been inducted into the class of 2026 University of Miami Sports Hall of Fame and Museum?
Yeah, I am always about the U. I'm very proud of my time there. Did my bachelor's and my master's degree, and I learned so much from the professors. And that's what has honestly given me such a giant step into the room where it happens with scientists like Dr. Rose Vasquez Espinosa. Like, could you believe that? But that's all a testament to Miami. And I thank them so much for my time. I love being part of that university, and it's so special to me to be part of that Hall of Fame now.
Yeah, I'm sure you're enjoying the college football season as well. But let's talk about what this week is too. Yeah, the games and everything, but I have a very important question for you. I'm going to ask Ali and Jeff this too here eventually on Futbol W, so they have a little bit more time to think of it. They already know I'm unserious. Favorite Halloween candy?
Oh. Favorite Halloween candy? I do love little mini Reese's peanut butter cup. Yes. I think they're just always the classic. That's all. You can't go wrong. Yeah.
I love it. I like you even more, Phallon, after that answer. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Futbol W. We wish you all the best at your club level. Can't wait to see what you do at the Champions League. Of course, with the U.S. Women's National Team, we hope to talk to you again very soon.